Hi everyone, it's Mish here, and welcome today for another play in the Daphne's Diary glue book. If you're new here, thank you for joining us, and if you are returning, I thank you too. So if you've been following along, you know what this playlist is about. If you haven't, what it is that I am playing not playing, but using the Daphne's Diary magazine to create a glue book journal. So the intent of this is just to create some really beautiful pages to give me ideas maybe for other books. And if you haven't seen the videos up to this point, you can check them out in the Daphne's Diary glue book playlist. So today, I've already created my background with just some patterned paper that I had. I wanted it to look a little bit like a wall or some boards because I'm going to be using some images from number 5, 2023, and I'm going to be using the stalls, the fruit and vegetable stall. So the intent of this little activity is just to cut out the shape to create like a 3D folding cardstock image, I guess. I don't know what else to call it, but a stall. And that you just take this, fold it all up, and then you have something that can sit on a shelf or your table or what have you. So I'm going to go away and come back, but I'm going to cut this out. And what I want to do is make a 3D image that can sit on my page, so it pops up a bit, but I also want to put some lights in it. So I had a long time ago got these this LED kit from Michaels, and it was relatively cheap. I think I paid like $8. It was on sale or something. And I've never used it. So I thought, oh, well, this will be cool, because what I could do is cut out the doors and they can open up. You can look inside. It can light up. So it might be a bit ambitious, but that is the intent of today's video. So I'm just going to go away. I'm going to do some cutting, and then I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I've done a couple things. I've cut out the stalls. So there was a front and the back. So I've done that, and then there was a little awning, so I've cut that out. And on the awning, I've actually backed it onto some cardstock and made a little hinge so that it can hinge up and down. And I think I'm okay now to just adhere this down onto the paper. It's just going to be some paper on paper, so I think it'll be okay just to add some Elmer's glue. And at this point, I'm not really going to put anything underneath it, I don't think. So I'm going to put it about, before I do that though, I had cut out of the magazine just some lemons that I thought we could decorate the page with. So maybe I'll put those down first, because I think that the stall is gonna kind of overlap a little bit, and I'm okay to come off the page because I can trim that off later, and we could add more decorations if we wanted to at a later date. So I'm just gonna get those down, and then I wanted the stall about there. Just add a little bit more glue. In general, if you put, like, this is Elmer's glue, a PVA glue, onto paper, it can warp it, but this is a little bit heavier paper, so it should be okay. So this is where the stall is going to sit. Let's try to line that up good. I think that looks okay. Okay, so what I did with the front of the stall is I've cut out the doors and I've cut the windows out, and then all along 3 edges at this point I've put some foam tape because I want that to sit up a little bit. So I was kind of thinking like when you open the doors, you can see the little chair and the counter, but that's a little bit blank. So I'm wondering about putting something else in there. Let's see, so I have still this, I have this, the strawberry one. So I think I'll cut out this back bit, because how would that look? I could cut out this here and use the chalkboard and the hat. Get that out. Okay. So I could put the chalkboards hang them so that when you're looking in, the door, you can see that. So I'll put that right about there, I guess. Yeah, that would look good. So right about there, I think. Okay, and then, oh, it might get noisy here for a second. I think that's the recycling truck. I apologize. I think I'll just, until they're finished, I'm just going to continue to work on this, and then I'll be right back. I think the coast is clear for a few minutes, so we'll see how much further. I think they might be back to the other side of the street, but anyways, we'll move on. So I've put the little chalkboard in, and I've put the little hat there. So I'm just going to set that aside for a minute. So on the strawberry stall, the one we're not using, I cut out the doors so that I can put on the back of these doors, so that when you open them, that you can see that there's another door there. I've also cut out a little bit of vellum so that I could make them a frosted window. If I decide that I don't really want that there, I can always cut it out, but I think it might add, when the lights are on, like a little frosted effect, but we shall see. So I'm going to put those in place. And the other thing that I want to do is I want to put on some doorknobs. So I've got these little brads, so I was thinking I could put the brads in, which I think I'll do. I also have some little like rivet, it's self-adhesive sticker type things. So instead of like little crystals, they're like little rivets. So I could have done that, but I kind of wanted this effect, and I want to put this in before I put the back of the door on. So I'm just going to stick that in there, press it down quite firmly, and I'll do that on both sides. So we get our little doorknobs in place. Okay, so now I just want to adhere, and I want to make sure that the doorknobs are on the same sides, and I'm just going to stick that down with a little bit of just a little bit of glue. And it doesn't have to be completely perfect. It is the inside of the door, so it's, you're not going to see it completely. We'll get that down, and that will also cover the back of the vellum, but it will cover the doorknob as well, so that when you open it up, it kind of looks like the back of the door, without the 3D effect, of course. Okay, so we'll get that stuck in and press that side down. All right, so now And if I need to reinforce it later with some heavier glue, I've got a micro glue applicator thing bottle, so that I can kind of get in any kind of little groove there. Right, so that's the door there. I want to trim off that. On the outside, we can tart it up after. But so there's going to be our doors, and then with the doorknobs, and when you open it up, it looks like the back of the door. Okay, and like I said, I put some foam adhesive on the back already. So the other thing I just want to do is put a little bit, that was a sign, and I just want to put a bit of frosted, some vellum there too, so that when the light comes on, you might be able to see a little bit of light shining from there. The other thing I kind of thought about, and if I can find it, I might add, is I was thinking about some kind of a light. And I do have a little clear epoxy, like a plastic circle, that I was thinking like maybe a round light over top of that. Let's hang on. I should have had this ready, but, and I wanted it sort of clear so that when the light comes on the inside, that it might shine through there. So I was kind of thinking of putting, I've had this for so long, of maybe putting this as like, you know, like a little window light above the door. But I'm not sure. Yeah, not really sure. I don't think that'll work out. Okay, so the next step is then to create our circuit. So with our little lights here in this kit, we get a battery, which I've already tested one of them. Oops. And it was lots of charge. And each of these little things has 3 lights on it. And I was thinking just one light would probably be what we need. And I just wanted to double check this battery. So I have a little battery tester here. I always got to make sure I put it in the right way. Yeah, it's got lots of juice in that one. Okay, so what we need to do in order to do this is we need a positive and a negative. So on these little lights, and I'll take one off. I guess they peel off. I won't peel it off until I need it, but it's going to be really hard for you to, I think, see. But it does say positive and negative. So there's a little negative on that side. So the little pointy triangle bit is the negative side. Put these lights on. We need positive and a negative. So this is going to be my negative strip, and they can't touch. Okay, and then I want to go up this side of the window. So in order to go up and have the sticky side down, I need to first actually come down. So that's a right hand turn, 45-degree angle down, and then back up on itself. Okay, so that's going to be, we'll just say this is my negative side. And then for the positive side, we're going to come up on the other side. I get the backing off this copper wire. Okay, so we're going to run it parallel but not touching. So maybe I want to try to get a couple lights on there. So we'll come down about that far, and then again we're going to make a right hand or a 45-degree angle down and back up on itself, making sure that it's touching itself. Let's push that down a little bit. Okay, and then that's going to go up to our battery. And then for the lights, I'm going to try to put 3 lights on there. So there is a negative and a positive. The point on these is the negative. So we're just going to make sure that it's touching both sides. I think we can get, hopefully it'll all work in a circuit like that. It should do though. It's just a parallel circuit. And there's our lights above the door. Let's see what happens. So, like I said, if I haven't cut it out of the previous attempt, we do need to have, that's our negative. Our negative is on the right hand side. So we want this to be negative, and this side will be positive. So we need a little envelope to put our battery in. Here's the battery. The battery, the positive side, is the side with the writing. So for now, I'm not gonna, I also have put a little Velcro dot there because I want to be able to, at a future date, just open that to have it secure, so that the battery doesn't fly out, but maybe be able to change the battery. If you didn't really care about changing the battery, then that would be fine. So we want to have, I could actually turn it that way. We want to have one end going to the top of this vellum and one end going to the bottom. So for the top one, we can just turn this at that angle and stick that on there. We'll see how that works out for us. Okay, so that's our positive. And then for the negative, we want the negative to be on the top of this vellum. So we're just gonna, I think we'll turn it back on itself this way. So we'll come, should we do? Come down. Because I can't just go straight across, and I want the sticky side up. So, oh yeah, so we'll go this way, we'll go sideways, and then we'll go back on itself this way. And we'll put that vellum on the top. So something like that. It looks a mess, but we'll fix it up. Okay, and just to check, we'll put our positive down, and then we can see that the lights have come on. Okay, so I'm back, and I don't know what I was thinking initially of trying to get it onto the door and then flipping it up when the easy circuit is just to use the back panel and the top flap. So that's what I did. So I've created my positive, which runs along here, up into there, and then it is on the positive side of the battery. I then run my negative copper wire to the left-hand side and put it on the opposite side. I've put a little Velcro there just to hold it in place. And when you press on it, you can see that the lights do light up. So that's what I did. The other thing that I did is I cut out the window that was up there, which you couldn't see when the awning was over. And I moved it down to above the door. So then there was this little wooden, I think it was supposed to be a countertop or something. So I cut that out, and I thought, well, I'll put this as the, just to cover that hole. So we'll just stick that on. Oh, the other thing I was going to do before I did that is just dress the edges a little bit with some vintage photo. I don't think it's going to be seen, but it just covers that little white edge a little bit. So we'll put that down. And then I've also gone ahead and put a bunch of foam tape down where I'm going to need it. So I think that's ready to, as ready as it's ever going to be. And that lights up. Okay. So I'm just going to take off all of these bits here. Sometimes, you know, it's just trial and error. And when you get making a video, sometimes I think, well, should I cut all that out? Because you guys want to see my struggles. But then it kind of gives you my thought process as well. Okay, so I've got the front piece on, and it opens up okay. And then you can see that when you press it down, the lights do come on. It's hard to see here on my workbench because I have so much other lighting. So then just to kind of keep this down, I'm going to put a Velcro dot so that the light doesn't stay on all the time. But if you press down on the awning, it will. But I don't want the awning just to flip up and down. So I'm just going to take a little piece of foam tape, roughly the size of my Velcro dot, and just going to get this off. These are hard to peel off. And then I'll just put that on one side and cut that out a little bit. Change in the weather, I'm getting a bit stuffed up. And then we'll get our other side of the Velcro dot and stick that on. And then I'm just gonna put it out of sight a little bit, just there. Okay, so we've got that down. So then I just want to decorate the front of the stall a little bit. So I had some bits and pieces. I've got this little sandwich board. I've got some groceries, a bag of groceries, and a little box of, just a little box of fruit. I put a Velcro or foam on the bottom of that. And then with this, I could put some pattern paper on the inside. I don't think there's another sandwich board. There might be. I could take that sandwich board and put it inside so that you're just not seeing the white kind of inside paper. Or what I could do is just kind of distress it like it's just like a wooden, yeah, that's what I'm going to do for now. Just distress it so it just looks like it's some wood on the inside. I'm not being too fussy here. Just to get some color down. And you could also put some flowers on the inside or decorate it with some other fruits that are in the magazine. There's other kind of fruits. But at least that, yeah, that's better. Then that just takes away that kind of stark whiteness. So I'm just going to put this down with a little bit of glue. The other thing that I thought about doing, you know, to really push the boat out, is you could color it, you could paint it with some actual chalk paint so that you could write on the chalkboard, or you could put a saying on the chalkboard. There's a lot you could do with it. So with these groceries, just going to put that down about so, and then I'll put this little crate of groceries or produce just kind of sitting there. And there you have it. I hope it wasn't too frustrating for you guys. So here's our little page for today. And if I did, I don't know if I turned off some of these lights, if you'd be able to see that. So you can see it light up. Isn't that cute? And then when you open the doors, you can kind of see it illuminating the background. It's much more effective here than it's picking it up on camera. So we could also put a little saying here, but I think that will conclude today. We can always come back to it. So let's shut our doors. Let's get the shop closed for today. Somebody has already paid for those groceries. They'll be back eventually to pick them up. So if you did like this, just give me a like. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to. Honestly, the videos usually aren't this chaotic. But I do hope you have a great week. And we'll see you. We'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Bye for now.